Hello, Alex.
Hello, hello.
So let's go. Today's agenda, today's topic, one simple episode we want to record. I recently started to write a blog post about kind of personal branding and my thoughts on it and how we could think about it. So I don't know. I think I could just share that, share my initial draft, share my thoughts, and then
Okay.
Alex, maybe you could add your 2 cents on top of it, and we can just discuss, and maybe that blog
Mhm.
post will end up better with after this conversation.
Cool. Yeah.
So yeah, about personal branding, I think it's a topic I was very consumed about when I had no audience, when I had nothing, when I was just starting out. I think it's a very common place that people go, oh, what should, like, how my personal brand should look and what it is and la 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 la, and we get really obsessed about it. And like, one thing I was thinking about is that I think every single one of us, we already have a personal brand. I think
Yes.
I think what we don't have, we might lack intentional and leveraged personal brand. Like, meaning, how I think about this personal, if I would ask you, what do you think of Elon Musk? You will probably
Yeah.
start to say he's this like billionaire and he's like funny and going the other way as the every other billionaire is doing. He has this
Mm.
Tesla thing going on and so on. And that's basically his personal brand, in your like brains, and for somebody
Yeah.
else, it will be a different personal brand for him. So it's more like, yeah, any friend can you can when somebody asks you, hey, can you tell me about this person or that person, same as just about with Elon Musk, you can tell that with about any other of your friends. You have some sort of
Yeah.
perception in your brain, and I think that's pretty much what is a personal brand. So we have it. It's not like that's something that you really build. I think every one of us have it, and what you need to realize is that every person out there might have a bit different perception of your personal brand in their brains. And I think that's kind of the base layer, how to understand this whole personal brand thing, that is this big magical thing. And then like kind of the next point is that we might lack like intentional personal brand. And with that, I mean, like, are there some things, that you want to kind of plant some ideas in people's brains,
Yeah.
just an example, I don't know, maybe you want to be perceived as a really nice person, so you act nice, you do nice things, and that's how
Yeah.
people will understand, in terms of, a lot of people think about like colors and stuff like that and so on, and all that is kind of important to some degree, but in general it's not that important, in my opinion, if it's not something that you intentionally want to push to people. If you want to people to understand and remember, that, Giannis, he's making these slick, really cool visuals. Everything is so polished and spot on, then that's type of content you create. If you want to create a message, well, this guy, he just have cool ideas, but he doesn't give a shit about anything. He's just spitting out random things and doing
Yeah.
interesting, and there are all of these people are all around. And I think that's where in my opinion, there is this intentionality layer that you can think about this, how you want people to perceive, and you can push those buttons more. But in general, I think it's important not to go crazy here. You really need to understand, who you are, what you like to do, or you will create this mystical facade and then try to push into that type
Yeah.
of person, and you will be quite unhappy because it's so far away from your like real values or something. But still, like, intentionality is something that we can think about. And then of course, like, the last point, which is like leveraged personal brand, that is, as we talked at the beginning, you have personal brand, with your friends, family, and the people, and leveraged personal brand is that what we are doing. We go online, we push out our ideas, we portray all these like values and so on the internet, and that's you kind of how you have this leveraged personal brand. So yeah, that's kind of my
Yeah.
thoughts. We have personal brand, we can be intentional about personal brand, and we can like leverage our personal brand. And I think that's more or less it. Of course you can go into many details about like what's
Yeah.
important and what's not, but I think it's very individual. But yeah, that's kind of my notes on this. What do you think? What do you like? What do you agree?
Oh,
What do you disagree?
I agree with the fact that we all have a personal brand. I just the other day I read a quote and it was like, you have a brand whether you know it or not. So the first thing is like everyone has a brand. the thing is like there is people that they are aware that they have a brand, and some people they are not aware of it. And as you said, there is levels to it. Like obviously the professional level, which is more like where we are building our personal brand. But as you said too, like when you are talking about one friend of yours to another friend, you say, yeah, because Giannis is like super nice, and he's super willing to help me in whatever I ask him. That's kind of your personality builds into that brand, and what other people say of you is also like part of that brand. So totally agree with you on that, and 100% the fact that once you acknowledge that you have one, you should be more intentional in how you are building it, because we are leveraging our own personal brands, mostly for business, yes, but also like for personal connections and so on, right? So it's a really powerful asset. At the same time, I see a lot of people, I don't know if you've seen this in your research, but I see a lot of people hating, I don't know why, on the term like personal branding. And I think it's because a lot of people use, as you said, these personal brands to build a facade that is not true to who they are. So like mostly like these social media gurus or whatever, like I don't know. I've seen a lot of people do it the wrong way. So I don't know what you think about that.
I don't know, that name, personal brand, I don't know. To me, it's whatever. It's shit, peanuts. Yeah. Don't even want to think about it, talk about it. You want to call it like that, call it like that. Don't give a shit. It's not important at all, It really,
agree.
I don't know. It's all wordplay and shit that triggers me. but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think there is a point where I think it's kind of stupid to create this intention that I want to create this type of brand, and then you go after it. Maybe it's not stupid if it aligns with your values or whatever, as long as it's like real and not like fake and so on. I think it's quite important to be true to yourself. People can see through the bullshit. Yeah.
For example, like one aspect of it is like, I think about it for myself. I like to think that I am a approachable kind of person, that people can send me a message or reply to my tweets and I will reply. And it's something that it's not something that I built on purpose. It's something that I built because I do the thing. For example, this morning I'm trying to check less like Twitter every day, so I'm kind of batching my times of checking Twitter to like reply to DMs and stuff like that. So this morning I spent like good 20 minutes like replying to DMs and replying to every comment that I get, and that's something that I could not do, and it wouldn't, like, my following count or something like that wouldn't hurt that much. But I just want to help people out, and that's how I do it, like to reply them when they ask me something or something. And that, I think that even if it's like slowly, this is building into my personal brand, into like I'm an approachable kind of guy, like 100%. I'm not like these people that it's up here and it only pontificates thoughts out. So I put thoughts out, but I want to hear from the people and I want to hear feedback. So that's one way that I'm trying to build my personal brand, for example.
Definitely. I think loads of people, including myself, I would like, and a lot of people say, yeah, Alex is this like really nice guy. He talks about this and that, he's like usually replying, very nice guy and so on. So yeah, like you just do, you just do it, and exactly. It kind of happens. Yeah. So it's almost like yeah, in some sense, I almost believe it's very important to completely like ignore that personal branding aspect and just be intentional kind of about your work. What is your what are the things you talk about. Of course you can like change your niche, but if at the beginning you will be all over the place, then it might be a bit too distracting. But yeah, definitely. I think it's a lot simpler than a lot of people make. A lot of people try to package it in this some weird abstract thing that there are certain buttons you need to push to build this awesome personal brand.
It's not something like super over engineered, right? It's just like being you. It sounds super cliche, but it's like being you, but like online, which basically expands, exposes 10 times what you are, for the good and for the bad, right? But it's just like try to be you, like things that you would like done for yourself. For example, for me, every time I write a tweet to someone I admire, I like that for them to reply, right? So that's what I do too, because it's something that I would like for me to do. So that could be like an interesting framework to build your own personal brand, right? Just do what you would like for others to do to you, right? Something like
Yeah,
that.
that's actually a filter I used early on as well when I was like kind of figuring out my niche, what type of content I want to create. I was really just running into walls. I was not able to figure this out. I was giving myself such a hard time about this, but then I just kind of screw it and I'll create what I would like to see, and that's that. Good. Any other thoughts on personal branding? So I don't know if somebody is listening and somebody is struggling with this. I hope this was somewhat helpful. Definitely don't overthink it. It's just, yeah, I don't know. But if you have some questions, please comment. Let us know.
Yeah.
We're here. We're talking. We know some things. We don't know some things. Okay, Giannis needs a coffee, I think. Alex, let's wrap it up, or you have some additional comments about personal branding?
Yeah, I think that's all for now. For sure, we can get more practical in another episode, more like in practical stuff, like like profile pictures and color stuff like that, things that you mentioned. But I think for today, on a general level, it's more than enough.
What are your thoughts on like profile pictures and stuff? Because you have this like yellow.
Yeah,
you're the yellow guy.
Yeah,
yellow background guy.
That's a funny story there, because a lot of people ask me, so you are so smart because you started like branding yourself with the colors and so on. And the truth is, like, I'm not that smart, so I just did it. It was basically did on pure laziness, because early on I also did like some sort of visuals, but I wasn't doing them myself. It was just icons from the internet that I was putting together. And the thing is that I didn't want to think too much about the design aspect of it, so colors and so on. So I just simply chose one color that I liked, which is this yellow orange kind of thing that you see, and just put everything into that color, because I don't want to be thinking every time like I make a different design. So, which color should I put here or there? So that's the whole reasoning. And I put my profile picture in that color just to make it look better, but there wasn't like a deep super thinking. It's not like a strategy kind of thing. It's just like
yeah, but still at the same time, I think it definitely helps to stand out. And when you kind of scroll the feed, it kind of you pop a bit and so on. But like, to be fair, like I believe it's maybe, I don't know, 5% of like additional value. A lot of people will think that this is the thing that I need to figure out before you start. No, you fucking don't. You just need to start.
It's a nice addition.
It's peanuts.
Exactly, but it's not like it's not a must-have. It's a nice to have.
So, definitely. I think this is so common, because I lived it. I lived all these like things that people do, like, I don't know, building websites before like doing anything, and just wasting money on SaaS products which you don't need and so on. I did all of that. And I think it's almost like there are 80% of the things you really need to do to be successful as whatever, and then there are like 20% nice to haves. And like first 4 years of my creative career, I spent like at that 20% doing all the nice to haves instead of doing the must haves. I think most of us. So yeah, just another reminder: do the needle movers, or whatever you call them.
Yeah, it's like the same. I guess you get asked this even more than I do. But for example, I don't make that many visuals, but when I do, first question I get asked: what tools do you use to create the visual? And it's like, it's not about the tool. It's never, hardly ever about the tool. So I show them an example like this. This one, I don't remember his name, but I saw like he went viral with visuals that he basically did in like, paper and
yeah, I know.
And they went viral. So, you can do that literally with a pen and a paper. So you don't really need the tools. You don't really need that, so that's another lesson in there. Like, it's not about the tools. It's not about the pretty things around. It's about the core ideas, right? So
tools, that question, I don't know, I've received, I think, definitely more than 100 times at this point.
I believe it.
It's crazy a lot. But I think in terms of tools, it's very important, I think, to apply a bit this fundamental mindset when you ask about the tools. You just take the chart and you look at it. Okay, what do I need to create this? And what type of like styles, not these, I don't even know how it's called, but raster graphic and vector graphic,
Yeah.
these
Okay. Yeah.
very clean lines, or this like more Aaron Alto type of sketch type of design, okay, so there is this technique, what type of tools support this technique, then what type of tools support this technique, and then you can kind of just play around and so on. But of course that would be hard and nobody wants to do it. Yeah, but tools, just whatever. Okay,
Yeah.
super random episode, personal branding, went to rant on tools. Okay, Alex, it was wonderful to chat with you. I'll go grab a coffee. Soon I will go back to Latvia. I was in Barcelona for 2 months. Good times.
Nice.
Met Ash. Didn't met you. You didn't come.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. And I didn't come to Mallorca. So
next time.
Next time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Okay. That's it.
Okay.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.